guys, Doodle is gonna be a spurky autist again for another video. Everyone, let's go ahead and laugh at the stupid tranny. Look, I'm gonna be perfectly honest here. If this is your immediate reaction to seeing whatever the title to this video is and seeing it is by me, then you're part of the problem. Okay, so let's go ahead and head back into a black neighborhood after being accused of owning a plantation. This could go 3 ways. Within the past week, I decided to turn off comments to my Mr. Medicare video, and have also decided to block certain people from my social medias. And this has since become the most controversial thing that I've done, seeing as my channel used to be some sort of Wild West scenario, I guess? Basically, I used to allow it all, but I have since decided that that is not the best way to go about it. I guess that's kind of what's going on. But if you'll allow me to simply explain my side in video form, then I suppose I'll be happy, despite it not at all clearing up the air. Because if there's one thing I've learned from all this is when it comes to Doodle Tone, she's literally the worst YouTuber in existence. Actually, probably the worst person in existence, but I digress. Alright, so let's get some of the bigger arguments out of the way. First one, I want my safe space. This accusation applies many things. First of all, it implies the internet is a place where a safe space can even be made, which on its own is fucking laughable because that's simply not the case. But it also implies that I have to take the constant tedium and be a group's punching bag for a couple of weeks with a smile on my face. One thing that really does get me about the whole safe space argument is the fact that most websites have a block button so you don't have to deal with harassment, trolls, spam bots, you know, the sort. And because I know there are people out there who will twist every single word I say in a way to make me look like some villain, no, these things are not the same thing, but at the same time they can intertwine with one another. It is possible to get trolls who do cross the line into harassment territory. You can get someone who's out to harass and winds up just spamming you, and you can get a troll who spams you. These things can and do happen, and that has been my life for the past near month, in a manner of speaking. Also, thing is, I've gone through the same song and dance at different magnitudes 3 times now. Once when dealing with the entire commentary community, once with the fans of Just a Robot, and now with the fans of Jim. And during the CC and Jar barrages, I didn't feel the need to block people. And you may be able to blame it on the size of the firing squad, or maybe the fact that both these dramas lasted maybe a week or 2 tops. And to that I'd say you're not too far off the mark. See, with the CC and Jar dramas, it lasted what I felt it needed to, enough for me to get the idea and move on. With this recent shitstorm, it's lasted long enough for me to get the idea, and continued to last to the point that I felt it was in fact a lynch mob. And boy, don't I know you guys love that term. But the individuals in question continued to pester me to the point that I legit felt attacked. Verbally, of course. Which brings me to comment complaint number 2. I can dish it out, but I cannot take it. Even ignoring the Just a Robot and Master TP10 commentaries, and hell, even to a lesser extent the commentary on Lord Hugenut, let's look at what it is I actually do compared to the 700 plus comments in my Mr. Medicare video. I may make jabs, but I do break down what I see wrong with the video in question, and give critique the majority of the time. As for these guys... And that's not even close to all of them, considering Twitter and DeviantArt comments that were lost due to blocking these kinds of people. Comparing what I do to my commentary targets to the comment section of both those videos is like comparing empty tissue boxes to a life-threatening disease. It just doesn't work. And seeing people try to compare it is just a little bit more than pathetic. On top of that, I'm just one person, not damn near the 700 who decided to actually comment. I've always worded it like this. A single fire ant isn't going to be much of an issue, but when you get a few hundred, you're bound to get bitten. So what do you do with the several hundred fire ants? Steer clear of them. But what if they're at your house? It's best to get rid of the pests. So in a way, disabling comments is like calling pest control. But look, I don't expect you, the viewer, and I to see eye to eye. Hell, for all I know, the person watching this is one of the many that I've blocked. And if you're still a bit peeved that you are blocked, I don't at all blame you. Having your speech silenced is the worst fucking feeling in existence. That said, you probably would have done the same thing if you were in the position that I was. Keyword, probably. I'm not gonna assume for certain, but this is another thing that some people don't want to admit. Being center fire with the audience members that I get on average is not something you can simply ignore. You will notice it, and it leaves you with a handful of options, but simply the easiest one is to try to push away from it all. And then there are people who drag you back into it. You simply need to push away from those people, and the only way I see to do that is to either block them or mute them. I suppose it's kind of a roundabout way of saying this, but I kind of backed myself into a corner and I'm trying to get myself out of it. I'm only human, I'm very flawed, and I'm very aware of that. The thing is I just have to somehow fix my problems, and ignoring the problem wasn't helping. Of course, as far as you're concerned though, I'm clearly an egotistical SJW who just wants their fucking safe space, right?